the US, because it's an interesting little map. Looks like blue is going to go first. Blue is going to put units in Kentucky. Army is going up and taking Oregon. And this is interesting position-wise because I have Arizona and a few other states in the West, but the positions are actually pretty difficult to defend. So regionally on the map, trying to take the Southwest or the West Coast, it's a little more challenging. So we got armies kind of fortifying in the Pacific Northwest. Red's going to put armies in Kansas. Take Nebraska. Looks like Red is just taking Big Ten country, taking Indiana as well, and Iowa. All right, so this is very interesting from a defensive standpoint because I don't necessarily, even though my units are all out in the West Coast, I probably don't want to actually put armies over there because it's a little harder to gain the bonus. So I'm actually going to put armies in Maine. Looks like I picked up a territory card. It is the country of Georgia. I mean, the state of Georgia. Looks like Florida and the Mississippi. Orange is going to try to take the southeast, I guess. Well, more armies in New Mexico, though. Blue is in Tennessee, looking to take Alabama and also South Dakota for some reason. So green has some forces out in Texas, Arkansas, Missouri. Yellow is going to put some forces in Louisiana. Takes Arkansas. So just a lot of back and forth, not a lot of region taking at the moment. Although yellow does have the most on the West Coast. Red really going after Big Ten country. Tries to take Missouri, does not well, does end up taking Missouri now. Ends up taking a whole region from the looks of it here in terms of that is very interesting. So red has taken over the kind of the great part of the Great Plains area, making it very interesting now because they have a whole region. So I'm gonna have to attack. So I am gonna put. I have to put some units over here, or some armies over here, just to. All right, so I'm gonna go from Vermont and New Hampshire, going after Massachusetts and Connecticut. I do capture the area there. And then I'm going to go and launch an attack from Colorado into Nebraska, which does succeed. I'm going to end my phase there. I'm going to try to fortify by moving one unit back. I get a Wisconsin card. At least takes away Red's ability to capture the whole region. I could get attacked on this turn, though, potentially. Orange is going to go ahead and take Texas and Louisiana. Oh, failed attack on Louisiana. Does attack from Florida into Georgia and takes Georgia. Blue is still focused on that area as Kentucky is going to go ahead and take Indiana here. And takes Arkansas. Arkansas has kind of been switching between different colors. Green's going to actually arm up in Virginia. Green doesn't have a lot of places left. They do take North Carolina, and it looks like they're going to fortify in West Virginia. Yellow has taken over the West Coast, taking California and Montana. Can move some back to Washington. Red's gonna mobilize using the cards. It tries to take Nebraska, fails. Does take it this time, but loses a bunch of army. Ends up going and taking over Wyoming. So red again has the region. I'm gonna have to attack the region again. Get 4 armies to attack the region. This ends up being kind of interesting. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put, I'll put all 4 armies here, I think. Wait, do I want to do that though? So yellow, no, I probably want to put it in the northeast. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 armies here. 1. So from Vermont, I'm going to attack New York over here. And then I'm going to leave the other one alone. So I'm going to have New York and Connecticut over here. On the west side, I'm going to go ahead and attack from Nevada into Oregon. And from Idaho into Montana. And from Montana, I'm going to attack North Dakota. So it's a fortification phase. I can actually move some units, some forces around. I'm gonna go and move one from Arizona up to Montana, just one. I'm gonna get the New York card. I have taken Oregon. I have taken North Dakota, and I have the Northeast, which is good, which is a good spot for me to kind of build up a little bit. Still more fighting in the South. Orange looks to be trying to take all of the South here. Actually, very close to getting what was the Confederacy. Well, I mean, there's still the northern part, I suppose. It's the deep South. Blue is still building up in the same area. It's going to attack from Tennessee. And takes Alabama. I think they took Alabama earlier. They're going to go ahead and take Michigan as well. Green's still kind of huddled up in that area, getting close to taking the upper South, I suppose. Yellow is still pushing in the West Coast. So yellow is really trying to build up here. Red is still trying to get kind of it looks like red may be giving up on trying to push my forces out of North Dakota. Red is going for... Actually, red takes Arkansas and Tennessee. So I'm kind of in an interesting spot. I do have cards, but I have none that are currently matching, so I can't use anything yet, but I might get infantries or all three soon. So at the moment, what I think I need to do is I need to push yellow in Oregon again. I'm also going to put some more in Connecticut. I'm going to go ahead and attack from Connecticut to North Carolina. Oh, that failed. Wow. Okay. I'm going to attack from Nevada and Oregon. And that's probably going to end the attack phase because that did not go as planned here. Up here. I have to move one back over to Connecticut. I get North Carolina as a card, even though I failed to get the dice rolls. Orange is going to build up. New Mexico attacking into Colorado. And also taking Arkansas. Into Missouri. Orange actually has a lot of territory, so I've got to watch out for Orange here. The other ones are kind of huddled, kind of in smaller spots. Blue attacks from Michigan into Wisconsin, takes Illinois. They are one state away, Ohio, from taking that region. I got lucky there because green ended up going for South Carolina instead of Connecticut. I really need to build up that area more. Yellow just built up a ton of cards. So they're going to try to wipe me out over on the west side to try to take Oregon, I'm sure. Yellow does take Oregon, moves into Montana, grabs Nevada. That's a strong position. They're going to go ahead and try to fortify a little bit, but Yellow now has the West Coast. It looks like Red's going to try to make a push here a little bit. Does take North Dakota. Going to push into Montana. Keep going, keep going. Red pushed into Washington, taking away Yellow's bonus. But Red doesn't take Missouri. So right now, I still have the New England kind of area. And Arizona, I just have Arizona. I don't have a lot of territories right now. So I need a push. Easiest way for me to push is probably up here on the northeast side. I'm gonna put one here. And the rest here. I'm going to attack from New York into Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Delaware. It's all one region in this. And then I'm going to end my attack phase and leave it at that. I'm going to hold my ground in Pennsylvania. The fortified phase, Missouri should give me an ability to put more forces down. Tennessee is now orange. Blue is a little weak, and orange actually has a lot of territory here. How many states is that? That's quite a few states. As an Arizonan, you must protect AZ at all costs. Blue taking Missouri and Arkansas. Moving things back up to Illinois, but it's just back and forth there. They're not really gaining a lot of territory. Yellow used up a lot of its forces already. Green is kind of dangerous right now. Green's probably going to go after me here. Connecticut, took Vermont, took Maine. So I need to push green out of the area because green has taken New England. Yellow boosting up California. And did take Arizona. So Arizona is yellow now. Yellow ends up taking New Mexico as well. So that was a tough round because the two armies went after me on the same turn. Red pushing into Missouri and Illinois. Missouri seems to get attacked on like every turn, which is very interesting. But I'm kind of knocked out of the side there. I can use cards. I'm going to go ahead and use those cards. We're going to trade in. We're going to have quite a few units. We're going to put 13 armies down. Put them all down here and try to take back New England here. I went ahead and attacked Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and now I've pushed into North Carolina. So I think that's going to end my phase. I'm going to go ahead and fortify. Don't need all those armies in Maine. And push them into Pennsylvania, get another card. I do have the Northeast right now. I'm going to need to push back. I did push green all the way out of the area, which is good. Even gained a little ground. Orange attacks Georgia into South Carolina. And Arkansas. Arkansas just changes hands like every turn. Missouri as well. Orange still doesn't have all of the South, though. Well, it's close, but it's not the whole South. Blue puts forces in Alabama, takes Mississippi. Blue is kind of in a weak position, though. Not a lot of states compared to, well, blue and green are a little. This is going to be interesting. Green's attack fails on North Carolina. Does take Michigan. That really weakens green, though. Red putting more forces into Kansas and Iowa. Of course, they go for Missouri again. They take. Whoa, they actually don't take Nebraska. They end up taking Wisconsin. So now at this point, every army kind of has its own area a little bit. All right, so I do have the Northeast here. There's not a lot of armies per se. But I have some armies. I'm going to want to put things in North Carolina. But the question is how I want to move armies after that point. That's the real question here. That's probably all I want to do at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and move one army here. So we have each color sort of has its own area now. Orange expanding, trying to take the Southwest. Does take New Mexico and Arizona, so now they have the whole Southwest. It looks like they're probably going to maybe push for Mississippi and Alabama at some point. Although blue, I think, is going to... So they're going to go for Louisiana. They're going to end up attacking the Southwest as well. They're taking Arkansas. Looks like they're actually going to leave Orange alone, which is not good. Southwest, they could have taken Texas, but they didn't. Green's gonna put a lot of armies in Michigan. They're gonna go for Wisconsin and Illinois. Alright, so yellow's pushing in, and yellow takes back Arizona and New Mexico, actually goes after Texas as well. So there's the attack. Orange is not going to take like anything really from the Southwest after all that. Red is going to trade in cards. Probably still trying to take that region. I prevented Red from taking kind of like Great Plains, like Midwest region. Nebraska, Missouri, Colorado, but doesn't take Iowa. And Iowa is what they really need. We're on to I still wait one turn before I do something, so I am gonna wait. I can keep attacking on the side, so I think I will. I'm gonna go ahead and go after West Virginia over from Virginia. And then I'm going to go for Ohio after that. Slowly expanding. Still going to be looking where I can actually push further. Orange and blue. Alabama changing hands like every turn. Blue puts forces in Indiana. Goes after Illinois. There's been a lot of battling over just that whole area. Tennessee switches again to blue. Green and blue are just fighting for less and less area at this point. I'm trying to figure out who the strongest is. I'm not totally sure because they've been definitely battling each other out a little bit. Where orange had like a decent position, they ended up clashing with yellow. Yellow's now pushing red. I mean, it's been going back and forth a little bit. Yellow's actually kind of dangerous right now because yellow has now secured again the West Coast. Although red could push if they really wanted to push, they could push for the West Coast. Which they do not appear to be doing. They want to take Iowa, which they fail to get, actually, after all that. So yellow still has the West Coast, and I don't think I can get anywhere near it. So this is going to be a good turn for me. I'm going to be able to get a ton of army here. 16 armies, which is really going to allow me to push, actually. The question is how I want to push. I think I want to secure the upper south on this turn because it doesn't take as many armies to do that. What is this? I mean, yeah, that's funny it says that because that is my plan. Deploy reinforcements. No, that's actually part of the. Okay, they can stop doing that. That is really my that was really my thought anyway. I'm going to take Kentucky, Tennessee, probably push into South Carolina and Georgia. I just need to figure out how many armies to put everywhere. I'm going to put one here. Still got 15 left. All right. Attacking from North Carolina into South Carolina. And taking Georgia. I now have South Carolina and Georgia. In the meantime, West Virginia into Kentucky. Kentucky into Tennessee. I'm going to end the attack phase. I'm going to go ahead and move one. So I probably move two from Kentucky over to Ohio. And then actually that gives me the territory card for Ohio. And now I have a big chunk of the East. Yellow does have a region, but I'm currently holding 3 regions. Orange takes Arizona, takes Mississippi. Fortifies a little bit of Florida there. Looks like blue puts more armies in Indiana, but it's gonna really try to wipe green out, I think. Green's down to a single state in Wisconsin, so green's in trouble. Oh, green does have trade cards, so green is actually okay. Has to use the trade cards here anyway. It's gonna take back Michigan. It's gonna take back Indiana. Is not gonna attack my forces up in the northeast, but they're still pretty fortified up there. Blue is in a weak spot, so it's very interesting right now for blue. Yellow does have a few more armies because controlling Washington, Oregon, and California. Takes back Arizona and New Mexico. And takes another region in the Great Plains. Colorado, Oklahoma. Okay, yellow is a danger right now. Yellow is in an interesting spot here. Red's gonna put some forces into probably taking Iowa. There's the attack on Iowa. This has gotten really interesting because now there are a bunch of regions yet that yellow has. I have a bunch of regions too. And I'm gonna have to attack into yellow's territory to stop yellow from getting everything. So this is very interesting. I think I'm probably gonna put things, it looks like I'm probably cross the Mississippi from Tennessee. So I think I'm gonna put things there. Gonna start by going into Arkansas. Just gonna move everything right now. I think I'm gonna move everything. Gonna go and attack Oklahoma. Kansas. Colorado. New Mexico. Arizona. And California. And then I'm going to move these units basically all the way back to Tennessee. And that'll help things. It's not going to solve the issue, but it's going to help things. Orange is going to go ahead and take Louisiana. At least I stopped a bunch of those other armies from the other factions from actually getting any of the bonuses. Blue is still alive. Green is still alive. Red and yellow now would have to take back a bunch of states in order to try to regain that area. Green and blue are just trying to wipe each other out. Which is an interesting strategy. I mean, if you wipe out another faction, you get their trade-in cards. Okay, yellow's going to try to push me back a little bit here. Taking back Oklahoma. Taking back California. Taking back Arizona. But not every state. Red is going to push, probably trying to get Kansas here. Red does get Kansas. Colorado. So, kind of interesting spot here because Red has taken back a territory. Interesting. Okay. This is an interesting play for me here, because I could probably attack red and yellow at once. Question is really more how I want to attack them. I could also take blue out as part of it, possibly. Let's see, green has 12, blue has 6. I definitely want to put some forces to attack yellow out in California. And go ahead and use the cards. Trade in another 12 armies. This is going to give me 22 armies. I'm going to put 7 armies here. And 15 armies here. So I'm going to start by New Mexico taking back Arizona. taking California. And then over here, we're going to go and try to wipe out blue in Illinois, which is a success. Get 2 more cards, South New England and Tennessee. I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of the armies over. I think I can put like 10 armies here. And then I'm going to attack Missouri, which is a success, which takes away Red's region. Get a South Carolina card. Blue is wiped out. I'm in a good spot. I've taken California, Arizona, New Mexico. I have a spot out west now. Also took Missouri, Arkansas. Well, I guess I had Arkansas already, but Illinois. Orange is pretty weakened. Green's pretty weakened. Honestly, everyone's kind of a bit more weakened other than maybe yellow. Green does have some concentrated forces, which they're now going to attack red instead of me, which is great. Florida does have a lot of troops for orange. So yellow looks like they're going to make a push to try to get back the Rockies, and they're Colorado. Attacking Kansas seems like it was extraneous, but they did it. Red goes and takes back Wyoming and Minnesota. Okay, at this point, they're kind of fighting each other, so I'm in a really good spot. So the question really next for me is going to be where I want to go next. Because I have a ton of armies, I have a ton of cards. I can even wait on that one. I can put 13 armies down. So I think where I'm likely going to put those armies is going to be against green. So that's going to be my next move. I'm going to put him against green. Indiana. Michigan. Wisconsin. Guess I still have cards I could use, but I could still wipe out green, I suppose. That did not work. I did not knock out green. Interesting. I guess I did knock out green. Okay, I'm going to move all my forces from Kentucky over. So green lives to fight another day, I guess. Orange is going to stack some forces in Texas and Alabama. Goes and attacks into Tennessee, which is not great for me, but I still have plenty of armies, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do need to drive orange out of Tennessee. Green is still alive, barely. Green's gonna go and attack Nebraska. Yellow trading in cards puts it in Colorado and Kansas and Nevada. Yellow's gonna go for Nebraska. Gets Nebraska. Does not knock out green, which is an interesting call there. Because red still has a chance of knocking out green. Which they should definitely try to do with 8. Red does knock out green, which is a wise choice. Got close and I just did not come out. So red gets a bunch of cards to trade in here from green. So red suddenly has a bunch of armies again, but I don't know that that's enough at this stage. Down to 2 free regional armies now. Yellow in the Pacific Northwest, red in the Great Plains, and then orange, of course, in the South. I've got a ton of armies. I'm going to go ahead and use the cards. I have 17 armies I can deploy. It's a matter of where I use them. I think I do want to probably fight orange here, because orange is going to be a challenge. So let me try to do that. I'm going to go ahead and try to fight orange. Attacking from Georgia. Taking Florida. Florida versus Alabama. Took Tennessee. Okay, so I did weaken orange here. I do need to move some more armies over. We'll go ahead and push some of the armies out from Connecticut out here. Take that, Floridians. Orange is back. Mississippi. Take back Florida, but they've kind of been weakened in the area. Yellow puts some armies in Montana and goes ahead and attacks Wyoming. Take back the region that they've never really had good control over. Oklahoma and New Mexico. So yellow is probably my next target. Red is kind of dangerous, though, because red still has a lot of armies because they got a lot of cards from green earlier. But red just goes and attacks yellow, so... Oh, that's a big one. Or red is taking Missouri and Minnesota. So I'm probably going to have to push and attack red this next turn. Got a ton of armies. I can actually trade in right now and go for the sweep here. This is very interesting. Or I can just wait. I don't have to use it right away. But it's the best possible cards I could get, so I might as well do it. I have 27 armies I can use. Making this very interesting. Should at least get this up to 10 armies. Or 11 armies. Alright, so in the South, Tennessee to Mississippi. Take Mississippi. Mississippi attacking Florida. Mississippi taking Louisiana. And then Louisiana going after Texas. It is a success. Orange is down. Next is going to be crossing the Mississippi from Wisconsin and Illinois. I have taken back Minnesota. I've taken back Missouri. And I think that's about as much as I would want to move units or attack. So I'm going to go ahead and fortify. I'm going to move some armies from New York to Arkansas, which gives me an Arkansas card, which is great. Yellow puts forces in New Mexico to attack Colorado, takes back Colorado. But considering I have a ton of states at this point, yellow and red don't really have a chance. Time to finish the job. Red takes Montana. Red takes Wyoming. They're just fighting each other now. Red takes Idaho. Move some forces back to South Dakota. But at this point, I have so many cards I can play. It's ridiculous. I can play 28 armies right here. So it's a matter of where I go. Who's weaker right now? Red is probably a little easier to go after, so I think I should go after red right now. Starting from Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Wyoming, Minnesota to North Dakota, Wyoming to Montana, Montana to Idaho. Red is down. I got some territory cards. I can trade them in for 10 more armies. I'm gonna put some in Arkansas. Idaho to Washington. Washington to Oregon. Oregon to Nevada. Nevada to Utah. Arkansas to Oklahoma. Oklahoma to New Mexico. And New Mexico to Colorado. And that is the US map. 15 rounds. Looks like there's a whole battle log. It took 15 rounds. Went pretty well. That's the US map on global domination.